the Muleshoe and Andrews game. It's homecoming 2011 here at Benny Douglas Football Stadium, and the score is the Mules 28, Andrews 19. And we have a couple of exes of Muleshoe High School with us, and we'll be talking to them in just a few moments. This game is being brought to you here on Channel 6 on Reach Broadband and Gillam Advertising, Muleshoe.com, through the courtesy of these sports-minded Muleshoe Mule merchants. 5-area telephone, West Plains Telecommunications, Barrett Potato Farms, Bailey County Electric Cooperative Association, Frying Cox True Value Hardware Store, the Muleshoe State Bank, Mohawk Auto Parts, your local independent car quest store, and Shipman Body Shop, Joe King at Western 66, who operates also the Card Stop, C.K. Nichols Incorporated, McDonald's in Muleshoe, Wilson Drilling Incorporated, Muleshoe Vet Supply, Muleshoe Animal Clinic, Irrigation Pumps and Power Incorporated, and High Tech Automotive. It's only because of these mule merchants we are able to bring you this broadcast tonight live from Benny Douglas Football Stadium. Again, Mules at halftime are 28 and Andrews 19. And the class of 1961 is having their 50th reunion. And we have a couple of former mules here with us, Rex Miller and Mike Barron, who played for Muleshoe High School 50 years ago. Oh, golly, that sounds like a long time ago, doesn't it, men?
Yes, it was a long time. I'm thoroughly impressed with this game tonight. Well coached, well organized, and very, very nice group of kids.
And that's the voice of Mike Barron. And now Rex Miller. Rex, you and Mike played on that same team, right?
Yes,
years ago.
Yes, we did, and I'm excited looking at this first-class facility. It almost makes me want to get out there and try it again.
You think you can do it, Rex?
No.
Rex Miller, of course, has relatives here in the Muleshoe area, and that being Mike and Pam Miller, and, of course, a lot of nephews and niece and their families. And, Mike, you used to live right across the street here from this facility where now Freddie Anseldua lives, and I noticed that the old press box is right in your former backyard.
Yeah, that was amazing. Jim Young and I actually drove by here twice today, and Jim told me, well, we're going to maybe even make it taller if they try to block that area.
50 years ago, who was the coach for the Muleshoe Mules football team, Rex?
We had Coach Taylor and Coach Washington, and I think when we were seniors, we had Wayne Mantooth. Might have been our coach the senior year, or junior year, I guess, was Mantooth was here.
Anybody else that coached you besides those three coaches in your high school career?
We had Coach McClure and a number of other coaches. I can't.
Monk.
Yeah.
Coach Monk.
Coach Monk, and but Coach Taylor and Coach Washington, of course, were just tremendous coaches. And Coach Wayne Mantooth may have been the meanest man that I had ever met, but he was a great inspiration to me.
You know, Coach McClure was at the state game back in 2008 at Grand Prairie. Rex, you didn't make it to that game, did you?
Oh, yes, I did.
You did?
I remember meeting Jack Rubinak there. Jack was there.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah. Now, Rex, where do you live today?
I live in Dripping Springs. It's a short distance west of Austin.
Now, what did you play on the Muleshoe Mules? What position did you play for the Mules?
I was a fullback, and about halfway through the season I was injured, and I rode the bench through the second half of the season.
Was that a pretty nasty ride? Really and truly, didn't they have a bench in those days that you actually sat on?
Oh, no, we had to stand up. If you wanted to sit down, you had to sit on a water bucket.
Okay. Now, Mike, you have coached in California after graduating And so where have you coached, and how many years did you coach football?
Well, I started in 1969 and coached all the way to 2004. So about roughly 35 years. I had the opportunity to coach. I was a head coach in 7 different high schools. I couldn't name all those schools. A couple, Duarte High School, Rancho Alamitos, San Diego. And then I went on to junior college, where I was a head coach in West Hills College in the middle of the state at Kalinga. Came back home and coached at Chaffey College and Pasadena City College.
And are you still coaching?
No, I actually retired, and then I coached a semi-pro team in California, and we went to the Nationals in the semi-pro, and then I decided, well, that's enough. I'm going to take a break and watch some TV.
Hope it's Channel 6. Rex, what are you doing today?
I live, as I said, near Austin, and I work for the State Health and Human Services Commission, and I play a mandolin.
And you play a mandolin on the side or in the middle?
Well, sometimes at work and sometimes at home. Yes,
that's a pretty hill country area you live in. How's the weather down there, and the land, and are you safe from the fires that have really hit the Austin area hard recently?
Well, to the east of Austin, you have pine forests, and they are ablaze, something like 45,000 acres. About 30% contained, and 1,400 homes have burned in the last week. I live on the west side, and there's not that much vegetation, ground vegetation, because of the drought. There's not been enough fuel for there to be a great fire danger, but it's still scary.
We might mention right here that Monica Swint Tyson lost her home last Sunday in Bastrop. They did get out. James and Monica did get out, and they lost their house and all their belongings, and we need to remember them on our prayer list, please. Do you remember the Swint brothers that played?
Yes, I do.
And this is the daughter of one of the Swint boys, and Kay Tiller, or the farmer Kay Tiller, is the mother of Monica, and Monica just moved with her family to Bastrop a year or so ago from Muleshoe. It is halftime here in the Muleshoe Andrews homecoming game for MHS, and it's Mules 28, Andrews 19. And this halftime being brought to you through the courtesy of 5 Area Telephone, West Plains Telecommunications, your telephone neighbors, the nice people at Barrett Potato Farms, and the Bailey County Electric Cooperative Association. We might mention years ago the manager of the cooperative was D.B. Lancaster, and a 1961 graduate of MHS is his son, Daryl Lancaster, who's here in the stadium tonight. Frying Cox True Value Hardware, that is Edwin Cox and his wife Carol and their staff, your True Value Hardware store. Muleshoe State Bank, Mohawk Auto Parts, your local independent CarQuest store, Shipman Body Shop. Joe King, did you play ball with Joe King, Rex?
Well, as underclassmen we did. Joe was a year or two ahead of us, and but it's really great seeing the whole, a lot of our class members from 1961 here. We had a good meeting this afternoon and this evening, and then we're meeting again tomorrow, and it's really great to see the folks who have come to town for that reunion, and pictures of families, and just interesting learning what everybody else has really been doing for the last 50 years.
That seems like a long time when you say it, 50 years. I can't believe it's come right here to our doorstep. As I said, Western 66 and Joe and Melba King. And, of course, she was Melba Johnson.
That's right. Yeah.
Red.
Dick Johnson's sister.
Yeah. And, of course.
Hi, Dick. Give me a call, Dick Johnson.
The card stop of Western 66 and C.K. Nichols Incorporated. McDonald's right here in Muleshoe. Boy, we didn't have a McDonald's, did we, when we were growing up?
No McDonald's.
No, McDonald's.
There were places you could get hamburgers.
Right.
I can remember when a hamburger was 25 cents, with fries and a Coke.
And where would you have bought it?
At the drive-in there. What was the name of that?
Corral.
The Corral.
The Corral, yeah. Man, I must have had 1,000 hamburgers there.
And Ray's Rocket, was it here?
Yes, Ray's Rocket was here. But what we're really looking forward to tomorrow is getting to go to the Yellow Jacket.
Right. Going to have lunch at the Yellow Jacket, which reminds me that your contributions are certainly needed to restore the Yellow Jacket. Now, it has been moved to the Muleshoe Heritage Foundation at the west edge of U.S. Highway 84 here. And if you would like to contribute, send your contribution to Muleshoe Heritage Foundation, Box 201, Muleshoe, 79347. And also, you can note in the memo line, Yellow Jacket. Now, if you contribute $50, you will be able to write a little history of your memories of the Yellow Jacket, which was opened in 1947 until 1999. Just imagine how many kids ate a hot dog or a hamburger or a pop, drank a pop from the Yellow Jacket.
Don't forget the chili cheese sandwich.
I kissed a few girls in the Yellow Jacket.
I must have missed out on that one. There were a lot of fights in later years also, and the Yellow Jacket would have stayed open if the school campuses had been not closed down by the Muleshoe School Board, and that's when the Yellow Jacket, of course, had to close. Well, we've got McDonald's in Muleshoe today, and also Wilson Drilling, and Muleshoe Vet Supply, and Muleshoe Animal Clinic, Irrigation Pumps and Power Incorporated, and I see Eric McElroy sitting right there with Gil Robert in front of our press box, and also High Tech Automotive. And they're bringing you this game tonight here on Gil-M Advertising, Muleshoe.com around the world. Mike, what do you really think from the standpoint of a coach about the Muleshoe Mules 2011?
Well, what I'm impressed with is the actual execution. Defensively, they're much smaller, but they seem to be a lot quicker, and they really seem to stay on task. Their jobs are to certain areas, and they seem like they're doing a good job there. One or two breakdowns. Offensively, I don't think they can be stopped. Only time that they'll be stopped is when they drop a ball or run an incorrect route. But for the most part, they're well drilled, well coached, and give a second effort, which is very important.
You know, the voice of the PA system here in Benny Douglas Stadium is Dr. Kerry Moore. And Kerry came to Muleshoe High School in 1960 when this class of 1961 were starting their senior year. And he retired once upon a time, but just couldn't take it and came back, and he now teaches at Muleshoe High School again. Did you have Kerry Moore?
I did not have him as a teacher.
Mike, you did.
I think I did. He excellent teacher and a fine gentleman.
Well, I had him, and I was in a class of one. And I did my student teaching under him also. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, I came back and did my student teaching under him and made an A++.
Did he direct our class play? Was he a play director? Mike and I were in a play.
Yeah, and
We were in a play together. I saw it in the annual.
it was what was the name of that play, Mike? Rex, can
Mike
you?
got to kiss a girl in that play.
Wasn't it Pat Brown?
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody has one.
Everybody has one.
And do you remember what it was that they had?
Opinions.
No. A skeleton in their closet.
I
Yeah.
can't believe that.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Remember that.
I don't know. That's my business, I guess. Farmers Insurance Group, Julie DeBruin, at 1602 West American Boulevard here in Muleshoe, or the Clovis Highway. And they will bring you the highlights from the homecoming activities, the pep rally, and also from the coronation of the homecoming queen. High Tech Automotive on North 1st Street, and your John Deere dealer, Ray Lee Equipment, will also cooperate to bring you the homecoming coronation of the queen, as well as the pep rally on Reach Broadband Channel 6 in Muleshoe, Sudan, Amherst, and Earth. Do you remember some of the schools that you played back when you were playing football for the Muleshoe Mules, Rex Miller?
Yes, we played Canyon. We played Olton. We played Dimmitt and Morton. I'm trying to remember who was in the district.
Did we play Sudan?
We played Littlefield, I think, instead of Sudan. We played. The first game of the season was Clovis.
Yes.
I remember senior year Clovis, because we did beat them, and I was dating one of their cheerleaders, Babs Vose. I remember.
Oh, and they had Vose department.
Vose department store. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, we got in trouble.
Yeah. You got in trouble on the field, or?
Well, no, just being from competing schools, you know.
Yeah. Oh.
They didn't mess with the Muleshoe boys. They were a little bit scared because we were a little bit crazy. We didn't take any prisoners. We were pretty tough.
The stadium is really impressive, especially when you think we're a 2A school. No 2A school in the state of Texas, which is enormous, has any better facilities in their classrooms as well as their athletic facilities, basketball court, track, look at that track, as well as this.
Very impressive.
Yes, it really, really is. What did the stadium look like 50 years ago?
Well, I live right across the street where they put the, we talked about put the press box over there, the old press box, but it was a dirt track, and they kept it in fairly good shape. Grass field. We used to practice kind of south of here, out in a bunch of stickers. Grass burrs, and every night I'd go home and pick out those grass burrs out of my legs, knees, and bottom, and coaches would get mad at us. He'd take us out there. He says, "Well, we're going to the burrs again, boys."
And then we also would run from here, from south of the field. About a mile out was a windmill in the middle of the sand hills, and we had to run through the sand hills to get to the windmill. And the coaches, I believe, they rode a Jeep out there to make sure. Yeah,
they rode a Jeep. Also, is there a memory you'd like to share with us as we wind down this halftime?
Well, I just looking at meeting all the people that came back in this 1961, I would just want to say this. It was a time capsule, and the memory of our high school and this city will forever be in my memory, and I am grateful that I'm from Muleshoe, Texas.
Mike Barron, Rex Miller.
Oh, I'll just say that I continue to have great pleasure in telling people that I'm from Muleshoe, Texas.
Thank you. And this is being brought to you by High Tech Automotive, Irrigation Pumps and Power Incorporated, Muleshoe Vet Supply, Muleshoe Animal Clinic, Wilson Drilling Incorporated, McDonald's in Muleshoe, C.K. Nichols Incorporated, the Card Stop of Western 66, and Shipman Body Shop, Mohawk Auto Parts, your local independent car Quest store, Muleshoe State Bank, Frying Cox, True Value Hardware, the Bailey County Electric Cooperative Association, Barrett Potato Farms, and 5 Area Telephone, West Plains Telecommunications.